Peace and blessings, and welcome back to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. On this episode, we go to Rochester, New York to talk to an MC that knows his craft, but knows how to make his craft marketable inside and outside of what we call hip hop culture. But is there really an outside of hip hop culture? Not when you live it. And this MC Gillateen is going to talk to us about it from inside the booth to his life outside the booth. Before we get into this great interview, we are sponsored by Transparent Credit Repair, the superheroes of the financial literacy and credit repair world. During COVID-19, a lot of people are stuck jobless and they're waiting for stimulus checks to help create the new norm. But is that really normal? By cleaning your credit and coming out of debt, not only do you free up money, but you're also able to ensure that you have more money to use for your benefit than people trying to take and bill collectors trying to repossess your money before it gets to your pockets. If you want to look into repairing your credit and getting out of debt, you can go to www.transparentcreditrepair.com or you can call them at 862-250-5122. Make sure you tell them Heritage Hip Hop sent you and you may get something special. For this episode of Heritage Hip Hop's podcast, Gillateen tells us not only about the craft of hip hop, but what makes New York hip hop so solid. Upstate New York, though, not New York City. A lot to be said in this one. Make sure you stay tuned, and I'll come back with the rest of my commentary.
Peace and blessings. Welcome back to Heritage Hip Hop. And as you know, on Heritage Hip Hop, we don't believe hip hop is only about music. It's about growth. It's about enlightenment and leaving something behind for people to come after you. And I have somebody who's doing that far beyond just rhyming. Introduce yourself to the people, please.
What's up, folks? I'm Gillateen, Gillateen Gilly, Gillatron, a.k.a. all of that, plus Michael Guilfoyle.
Right? I'm feeling the energy behind it because you have so many names. But let's get to the heart of the matter. Who is Gillateen and what makes him stand out whenever he touches a microphone?
Man, raw rhyming from the heart. I could freestyle my behind off.
You could curse if you want to. It's cool.
That's what I come from. I come from the old school where you got to actually know how to rhyme, deliver, hold a mic, and rock a crowd on the stage.
Yeah, see, that's a lost element in hip-hop, which is knowing your craft and producing your craft. Being that you say you're from the old school, let's go old school first, and let's get an idea what old school is to you. What is the golden era of hip-hop, and how do you fit into it?
Well, I mean, a lot of people call it golden era what, they call it, but my golden era, Notorious Big.
The 90s.
The 90s. 92,
Okay.
96, in there. That's my golden era.
Okay. See, the 90s hip-hop is one of the hardest eras of hip-hop to ever really define because the 90s had 3 or 4 different high parts. You know what I'm saying? Now we're going to talk some history. To all the people who are listening, you're going to hear some real hip-hop today. In the early 90s, you had like the Onyx era. Def Jam was still popping. You had street grimy hip-hop. You had people finding their voice. Then in that 92 to about 96, 95 era, you had Death Row. And the West Coast took a major step forward, and that era of hip-hop was about, the wave, you know what I'm saying? The Chronic came out, made a staple. But then from 96 to about like 2000, I'll say, you had the Biggie era, where Coogie's lyrics in the street really took a step forward and made hip-hop return to the grimy essence that it came from. Why does that part of the 90s stick out to you?
Man, again, we gonna roll back to Biggie, man, because on a level of, like, he took it from hip-hop's fun, cool, street, urban to, I can tell a story. I can get on the radio. I can drop to the hardest bars you ever seen. 10 crack commandments. I can jump it over here. That's when it was turned from like commercialized hip hop to like just straight raw rhyming and storytelling and making music that resonated with people in different ways. Not everybody's gonna like Story to Tell. Not everybody's gonna like Ready to Die's whole album. But I guarantee you, in the big picture, nobody can barely touch it. It's just the perfect piece of art. And it was an era when people were focused on that, you know, the art project. And that's why I really loved it. You know, that's really what changed for me in that era where I was like, damn, this guy's amazing.
I feel that because in your music, you bring a lot of that rugged 90s hip-hop flair into your tracks. Like with the track, you had a track that reminded me of the Ghostface track, and he Run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But on that track, sorry.
Don't forget that Madonna did it first.
Yeah. But on that track, just focusing on you right here, it was about bringing that real New York City, New York flavor that most people try to write off, but it always comes back as the sound that people need. Why do you think that sound keeps the pulse of hip hop alive?
Because that's the era that took it from like congregations and hip hop parties to like an art form that was untouchable. Like no one else could do it like New York that way. I don't know why, but tell me who did. Like that was it was an essence that is almost untouchable that carries us to today.
Yeah, I agree. The thing about New York and New York hip hop is New York hip hop has an advantage that other people don't have, unless you're in Texas or California, which is a major marketing arena in your backyard. And then if you're from New York, I always call New York the kingdom because it's like the Game of Thrones. You have Brooklyn, Queens, and all the boroughs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not disrespect anybody by not saying any borough, but you got your boroughs. And then the boroughs, you fight for supremacy in your borough, then that becomes, okay, now how do you represent the state? So people know who you are, where you're from, and then the type of hip-hop that you create. How did you make your name and travel through those streets to become the artist that you are?
Well, it kind of backtracks to my original camp, and us being from upstate New York, and at the time we weren't really getting the nod. You know what I mean? Like now, you can front if you want, but upstate probably has just as many. Let's not say any better. Just as many dope MCs as anywhere else in New York. So we, as some New York rappers that really never got the lane that I think we deserved at the time, stayed true to it because we knew, just like all the rest of them, Ethos, Spesh, Conway, Benny, all of them, that eventually, like everything, is going to come back around. So why not just stay true to what we know? Because we're New Yorkers, you know what I mean? Like, we live true to what we do, and I think that's what kept me on through all my albums. That sound, that New York, this is what I got to give you because this is what I'm raised around and what I am. And again, I have other things going on in my life, career, all that. I wasn't going to give up the art for any inch, you know what I mean, of anything, because I don't move like that. So to me, that's what kept us there, was where we're from, what we do, and we didn't get what we were supposed to then, but now Upstate's like, oh, damn, they carrying the throne. So, hey, we're going to stay true to it.
So let me ask you a question about that. Shout out to Rochester because that's where you're from. If everybody doesn't know. New York City and what we call upstate or New York State are two different entities. What do you think separates the sound of both?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Well, here's what separates the sound. New York ran its cycle and then tried to commercialize itself. So you got the, not with the A Boogies and the Designer, whatever the heck, you know what I mean? I might even have said his name wrong, but, Pandas and all that. That they tried to take it outside the box. But at the end of the day, New York only have a sound. Like Texas has a sound. ATL has a sound. Cali even got a sound, even though they try to ride our you know what. But at the end of the day, New York has a sound, and Upstate had it, and we got it. So what changed? Nothing. That's true. Like, we just now getting our shot.
You're just not getting your shot.
Our chance to be what New York's supposed to be in hip-hop, an epicenter of the whole time. And that's what we do. From Rochester to Buffalo, look around. Top MCs in the game, active, are hailing from this region, and it ain't by mistake. It's because we're from New York, and honestly, like any other business or anything in the world, we didn't just get our shot until the time was right. As you said, two separate entities. That's all I think.
That's interesting because, see, usually when you think about New York City, you think about the trend. Because if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. That's what everybody says, in the Big Apple and things like that. So, like I said, that goes back to New York City. That's that island. That's that borough. That's that borough mentality. You know what I'm saying? But here's my understanding. See, when I go to upstate New York is hood. It is cold. It is the corner store with the baby bottles and the 40s in the same aisle. That's Syracuse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when people think about upstate New York, I'm traveled, so when I go to upstate New York, people who I know think about upstate think about basketball tournaments, the Gauchos, the Hilltoppers, the AAU tournaments, not understanding that there's an underbelly right there that bubbles just as hard as it does everywhere else.
Oh my God, for sure.
Tell me about the grind of upstate, and do you think it's the same grind musically that it is down here, or is it more daring?
Oh, the grind is harder up here, I think. But I don't know. I'm not from New York, but at the end of the day, now it might be a little different, but in the time when it was really that golden era and thriving, when they weren't looking to New York, the grind was crazy, man. Like this kid that came out of my graduating class, Travis McCoy, Travis, whatever, he made a commercial thing out of his hip-hop and his band and all that, and went and did some serious things out of Geneva, New York. I graduated with that boy. But at the end of the day, like, to get in that, like, real hip-hop lane, they weren't even looking at it. And now, the way it's turning again, I don't do everything I'm supposed to do to be the greatest hip-hop artist and the most commercialized and profitable artist that the label's looking for, because I got stuff going on in my life. I make plenty of money. So at the end of the day, I know what these rappers go through, and I see it. So I'm trying to stay in the left lane and let them ride in the right. And it is what it is. So now I see the opportunities, way better, way more opportunity, a lot easier, probably easier than New York maybe, because of what just happened with the sound there. But back then, not a shot. It was hard to get even. We were screaming upstate, not getting nothing. And as far as how the hood goes, sorry, I dropped my phone. As far as how the hood goes, man, we just like everywhere else. I got two Goonies right here next to me right now that do whatever, whenever, on site. And it's not a game. You already know what it is. So it's the same thing as far as that goes. We're New Yorkers, man, and we get it in just like the rest. But at the end of the day, you know, we didn't get our shot back then, and we got it now, and we're going to take the lane, and that's it.
Well, I like how you said that, because it's all about, it's not about how people do when they cry and they didn't get anything. It's about taking the opportunity when you have it and running with it.
Right.
As the game evolved, a lot of different territories opened up because the internet came about. Technology got more accessible, and we were able to hear these dope voices and dope sounds in all these different places that the gatekeepers could not hold back, because now it's freely accessible to everybody. Tell me about the first project that you put out that got you over the top and people start looking at you going, ooh, he nice.
Man, it's a toss-up between Falling Culture, which was mixed like crap, but my brother recognized Ali from Africa. As you say, you know, everything got opened up to these different lanes and all that. And my done recognize Ali and tell you he'll jump on here and eat everybody alive. If you don't know that name, you don't know hip-hop right now in the underground. That's my brother. We got a full LP. Put that out in 2014. That was Falling Culture. And then I did my own thing, and then I put out Gillateen with Kyle Itachi. So, you know, both of those things let him know I'm not playing. Recognize Ali wasn't known. Now he's known all over the place. And he's got a project coming with Apollo Browns. You know what I mean? His boy is traveling internationally doing what he does. And if you don't know him, do your homework. The boy drops 3-4 times a year, and it's all fire. He's from Africa. It sounds like he was born in Brooklyn. And it's crazy. And that's the internet, like you said. And then, you know, also French producer Kyle Itachi. We did a project called Gillateen, full LP. Nothing but his beats, nothing but me rhyming. That let him know, oh, damn, the top producer in Paris with this guy. And the internet put that together. Well, whatever, however you want to say it, but you're absolutely right. So it's a toss-up between Falling Culture and Gillateen, I think, that really did it, even though that project I did before CTRT, Clearly Thought, Real Talk, when I came out of some craziness, definitely touched a lot of people. Where are we at right now? Because more numbers means more people looking, more, you know, bigger affiliations means their people looking. Definitely Falling Culture and definitely Gillateen were the two things that really shook them up.
Yeah. The thing about when you make your name, everybody starts to ride. You know, everybody wants to be your friend. Everybody, oh, he's nice, he nice, he nice. But adversity is what makes the MC nice, because adversity is what's going to help you not only rap about your life, it's going to help you rap to others about their lives as well. Tell me about the time when you realized you fully connected with your audience and you were able to bring them with you wherever you went.
When the same people buy your product as soon as it drops, you know. You know, I don't got 1,000 fans, but I got 100, 200, going on 200, 300. That as soon as it drops, man, it's the same motion. It's just like if you got something they want on the street, they coming straight to it. That's what I knew. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell you that happened after Clearly Thought, Real Talk. Gillateen dropped. I dropped the wrench. I dropped Candy. And every single time, everybody that bought anything prior bought everything that I ever dropped. And now I'm selling full discographies every few days. They're not buying one thing. They're buying it all. And I'm not trying to brag or boast, but the music's solid. You can play it straight through. You're not going to get a lot of skips. So that's what I knew. That's what I was like, damn, this is something that if I could get 100 of these, if I can get 1,000 to really follow it, and I drop, that's a serious thing. So that's what I
want you to brag and boast, though. No, I want you to brag and boast. And the reason why I want you to brag and boast is because too many times in life, people beat people down. And and when the person takes a chance, everybody wants a handout, a hookup, and they don't want to support you the full way. And for people to buy and to support you, brag and boast. You did something that some people are ashamed to do or too afraid to do, and others are going to hate you for doing, but you made it successful. Right. That's the success of being an MC or being in any game, whether it's sports or music. Yep. So, being that you have your following and you connect to your audience, what is a Gillateen stage show like? What am I going to get when I'm in the crowd and I see you rock?
YouTube it, baby. That's what I do the best. I'm a real MC, man. YouTube it. Check it out. Gillateen Live. Just put that into YouTube. Maybe Gillateen TV. That's got a bunch of them, too. Man, like I said, I come from the old school. I rock shit off the stage. And I can tell you that with all confidence. Put me up there. It's going to be a live-ass building. Everybody's going to come to the front. Their hands going in the air, and we're going to do some hip-hop. And that's one thing I did a lot of coming up, man. My boy Hassan Mackey, salute, Rochester, New York. Me and him, we threw this five different shows called Elemental right here in Rochester, man. We was killing them, man. We packed the house every time. We had as many people show up as when they booked Slick Rick just for this. We bring all the elements of hip-hop together, and guess who headlined it? He and I. And if you know Hassan Mackey, he's got a hell of a catalog, man. He's got an Apollo Brown project. I can't even speak to it. He's got tons of greatness, and I'm going to salute him, and I'm going to tell you right now, that man is a better MC than I am, and I look up to him. And that's my homie from the town. Hassan Mackey is no joke, low-budget record. And we used to get together, and we threw these things called Elemental and rock it out. And he and I would, you know what I mean, headline, bring some younger rappers in and do it. And that's what I do best, is live. Because I'm an MC, a real one, man. I'm not one of these, I don't need no auto-tune. I don't need nobody to do the hook. Listen to the project. It's all me. I rap. So that's what makes us different.
Yeah.
Makes us real MCs to me.
I like that because nowadays I don't think there's a lot of MCs. I don't even think there's a lot of people who really love hip hop. I don't even think there's a lot of artists. I think there's a lot of participants in hip hop. The reason why I say that is because a lot of people do it, but not a lot of people love it and create within it. Right. What do you call your creation?
Whatever the alias is for the album. My creation is usually what I'm going through, just like any other artist. Mm-hmm. What I learned from the better MCs around me, what I'm smoking, how far gone we is when we do this. And, just trying to reach out in ways and do things to respect the culture. Like you said, Run. I let my project off with Run. That's a song that was done by Capadonna, Ghostface, and Jadakiss. If you got the balls to touch that, talk to me about rap. If you got the balls to go out there and put that out as your lead song, I want to hear everything you ever did. Because that's hip-hop. That's what hip-hop's about. It's about recycling and making it better. And I'm not saying that was better at all. Impeccable songs. But what I'm saying is just the audacity to do it, put it out. And, hey, if I didn't get laughed at, I know I did the right thing. So, to me, that's what it is.
Like that. So let's take this interview to the next level because, like I said, hip-hop is more than music. Hip-hop has to be believable to be felt. Now, when I think of a guillotine, I think of something chopping somebody's head off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I think of a guillotine is an instrument used to instate capital punishment. How does the rapper Gillateen issue capital punishment on the microphone to put every MC on notice?
All right, so let's take it back to mixtape I ain't talk about called Gillateen. So I caught my nickname Gil playing baseball as a little 9-year-old boy, and I had an idea called, it was still related to the guillotine and all that, but Gillateenager, and that's how it started. And from there, it morphed into, Gil's a battle rapper that'll rip your head off, throw it in the garbage can, and throw it in front of the bar where everybody's hanging out and talk about it. I used to love battle rap and love when it was freestyle, when it was like, chew your head off. I come out the bar drunk, have a couple times, just, you want to rap, really? And have 150 people surrounded like, ooh, ooh, and that's the kind of thing that I came from, and where my name turned into from Gillateen and that little project way back to Gillateen might go ahead and snatch your head off. So I had to live by it, man, and the name, is from my real name, my government name, like I told you in the beginning of the interview, but also spun into where it started and where it's went. And anybody that knows me, knows probably might not want to, go down the wrong lane with that guy right there, because pure hip hop and got some real serious bars, might snatch your head off. So at the end of the day, that's me, man. Gillateen, Gilly, Gillatron, Gilla, whatever it is, they've turned the alleys into many things too. But yeah, man, it's a big, deadly machine to butt your name up to, Gillateen. But that's me, man, and that's where I come from, and that's the name I was given, granted, and pushed through hip hop. And
hold on for 1 second, sir. You see, the name is what makes the MC stand out, but the delivery is what makes the MC rememberable. You know what I'm saying? And in the time of the 90s, you mentioned Biggie. Biggie was impeccable because Biggie had flow, delivery, voice, and rhythm. See, that's what made Biggie stand out. He had rhythm. In today's hip-hop, it's either vibes or messages. There's not even punchlines anymore. In your opinion, what hits harder for the listener, the vibe or the lyrical delivery?
Now the vibes. But let's be clear. I'm not trying to say I'm on Biggie's level. But I'm going to tell you something. The people that really, really are listening, this is like one of them questions. It's like, to go either way or the other, right? Well, vibes clearly are what is doing it for, these kids that want to lean bop and do what they call with our hip hop. But at the end of the day, listen to Conway. Listen to West Side Gun, who claims he can barely rap. Benny the Butcher. It's about the bars. And who we have left that loves hip hop is going to remain about the bars. So to me, it's 10 of these, 12 of those. It is what it is. We're both right there next to a dozen. But at the end of the day, I have to say that at least for me, it's the bars, and it's always going to be the bars. But at the same time, don't get me wrong, I'll listen to a Little Baby song. Look, that boy snaps. In fact, a lot of his content kind of sounds like Benny without the auto-tune. So don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great music with a vibe and a style that's different, and I'm not hating on none of it at all. Don't take me wrong. But I'm going to tell you something. For me and for hip-hop, what we do, what we love, if it ain't about the bars and the content and the artistry, that ain't really hip-hop, man. Hip-hop's got a standard, and It's got elements. We already crafted this and already put the stamps and the labels on it well before the fucking vibe. Excuse my language. Well before the vibe. So, you know.
So, okay. I like how you said that. I don't want to cut you off, but see, now you sparked something in me that I really want to ask you because you're an MC. You said there's a culture, there's an outline, there's a standard. We establish something before the vibe. As an MC, besides the rapping and DJing part then, because the DJing part elevated into the production part, people who made beats, what element of hip-hop do you think you hold up that's outside of those two elements to keep the culture alive?
The DJs and the dancers.
The dancers.
Oh, man, the B-boys, man. When we used to throw elemental parties, it's about the B-boys. Go look in the pictures on Facebook. Check out my boy, Tyler Metcalf. He might be back 2 days in my post on Facebook. I showed him doing a bus back or a full. He was doing a straight power move, B-boy moves at one of our elementals. Man, I got DJ to the chop cut DJ TMB overseas. Nasty. I'm telling you right now, you can put him in the same room with DJ Premier, and Premier salute him because he's that nice. Not saying he's like Premier or nicer or nothing like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he'll recognize his skill, you're saying.
He's a student, you know what I mean? And he's ridiculous. I bought an album for my boys, Seven Spheres, Ghost One, and Dr. G. I just got it today in the mail with my box of CDs that came at the same time. That's a great thing. Support and get, you know what I mean? Like I got my copies to sell, and I also got something I invested in. It's a trilogy they put out. DJ TMB's probably got like 17 songs on it. The whole trilogy is about 60 songs, or maybe not quite, but 50 songs or something like that. And he's all over it. The boy is nasty. And DJ Goldman, he's on every single one of my projects. I would never without that. We gotta have the cuts and on the hook. I don't have to think about every hook and bring every hook. That's what DJs are there for, as part of this culture. Look at the artistry on all 4 of my albums. It's hand-drawn by Seth Sketcher over in Africa. The boy is a serious illustrator. Every one of my albums is drawn by hand, the art. Every one. Okay. There ain't no digital, nothing in Photoshop. No, this boy drew it, and we flipped it. Look at him. You can see it. It's clear. That's why the font sucks in the back on the new one. Shout out to Seth Sketcher. I'm kidding, bud. But anyway, no, it's true, though. It's you know, it's part of hip hop, man, and if it doesn't fall under that line, and you don't got the elements, it's not hip hop. Just like it's not a Chevy. Does it got a Chevy symbol on the front? Wait, does the seat go back this far, drop this far? Does it have a 5.3 liter motor in it? Huh? This is shit. How you gonna call it a Chevy if it's got a 4.6 Mustang in it? It's a Ford. Two different things. So for me, hip hop, you know, we got guidelines, bro, and you can't call all that shit. I'm sorry. Good music. I'm not even trying to go there. Good music. Hip hop.
Well, that's the thing that strikes me about hip hop, is because so many people want to see it die that they destroy it by trying to put hip hop against each other. And one thing that impresses me about you is you were forward thinking and said, I want to connect with people overseas to do music as well.
Yeah.
And overseas hip hop actually has raised the bar on domestic hip hop, and it's about, I'll say it's about to eclipse it. The only thing that's different is America sets the trend. By going and working with people,
still New York, man. Telling them, you heard?
By going overseas and being forward thinking, how did that help you keep your sound elevated above the rest of the people who do music?
So they sound like us, man. They mimic what we do, and I love them. I love you all. You know that. You know I show mad love to everybody over there, and I respect that. But that's how I knew that craft, that lane, that artistry, that genre. You can do what you want with it. It's like jazz, man. You're just gonna take out the saxophone and the trumpet. You know what I mean? Like, what are y'all talking about? This is the genre of music. It's not to be recreated and made something else. Even these country folks that make country music, like, hell no. Lil Nas X is cool, but damn, man, I don't know about all that. That ain't quite, you know what I mean? It ain't really cutting it. So if you don't respect your genre of what it is, I mean, call it, take it where y'all want. They try, they do. It's just a mix-up between, I don't know why, hip-hop, trap, black, this, that, and the third. I don't even need to explain, you know what I'm talking about. That at the end of the day, it's like, it is what it is, bro. We already did this. Well, it's done and over with. So you want to call it that because, I don't know, take your time and do what you guys have to do. Do what has to be done to rename it what it is. And that's been done, by the way. Respect T.I.P., respect Trap, respect 2 Chainz, respect the Migos, respect all of that shit that they doing, because they doing what they do in their genre. But these motherfuckers that's calling it, excuse my language, these folks that's calling it hip-hop, hip-hop's hip-hop, period. H-I-P, H-O-P, period. Take the rest of it and find a lane, A, B, C, it, 1, 2, 3, with it down. Because that's what it is. It ain't hip-hop. We make hip-hop over here. You know what I mean? What I do is hip-hop. That's it. Follow the guidelines. You're going to get to the end of the test and get a big A+ and a star. That's it.
All right. So understanding that hip-hop elevates and evolves, the pillars of hip-hop, which were mostly breakdancing, b-boy, graffiti, DJs, and MCs, right? Yeah. Those 5 elements transferred into 8 or 9 elements now. and one of the elements that hip-hop celebrates more so than ever now is entrepreneurship and being a business owner. Tell us about how that has helped your game, not only in hip-hop, but to stabilize your life and career and make it what it is.
Okay, now we're going to step into the Michael Guilfoyle world. Hit me up. Learning, man, watching how people react. I'm an internet marketing person.
Mm-hmm.
I run an advertising agency called Simplified Solutions. Check me out. I work with millionaires every day, talk to them every day. And what I'm going to tell you, shout out to David Shunnett, or to my partner over here. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, David, if you're listening, if you ever do, he tries to decipher hip-hop. He's not good at it. But if he does, shout out to David Shunnett. But anyway, the reality is watching how people move and understanding, you know, like, regardless of what they want to call it, at the end of the day, if I'm going to market to hip-hop, right, and again, I'm a lackluster artist when it comes to that. Looking me up is a tough thing because I make music to make music and make hip-hop to make hip-hop. It stays within the guidelines, and it's simple if you do. But let's put that aside for a second and talk the big picture. Looking at all that and understanding and seeing how everybody moves and knowing that if I wanted to run a campaign and put some of my money towards trying to blow up this hip-hop, which I might, by the way, if these GXFR boys and these rock boys keep working as hard as they do, you know, it's media trends and the way that they move and understanding how it goes. And it's the same thing, whether it's music or if it's a nationwide insurance agency. You know, people need what they need, and at the end of the day, they're going to move within those circles take what they take, consume as consumers. How they consume is where, good people like me get in between, make money. Same thing with hip-hop. And, that's it. Whether it's COVID-19 and shit's hitting the fan, or it's February 2020 and the stock market's at 29,000, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, understanding that makes you understand the bigger picture, that no matter what you're doing is segmented, and you better, here you go, writing $1 million worth of game, like Gillateen says, niche it down. Niche it down. Tighten it up to where you belong, because everybody else doesn't care. Those people care, and that's how I can rap part-time and have a bigger fan base than a lot of these rappers trying to rap.
So, Heritage Hip Hop is a platform that teaches hip hop and the rules of the game. And what impresses me about you is you've already conquered a lot of the things that most artists don't do. For one, you are branded. Two, you are successful in branding. And three, you use the skills in which you learned your branding to elevate your hip-hop talent. Why do you think so many artists fail at that business side of the game and just rather be popular and known rather than being branded and successful?
Well, because of what social media has done, there's people that haven't even created a brand that can get popular off their name. So, anybody that's looking at that's going to go, all I got to do is work on making me popular, and instead of the whole picture. And look at, man, guys listening, don't look at my brand. He's lying. My brand ain't where it's supposed to be. I do branding, marketing for a living. My brand is, I'm really just a rapper that is able to do this because I'm smart enough to see these little things and get where I need to go. And it's not impossible for anybody to go way further than what I do. Because seriously, I'm not the one trying to save the day. I'm saving plenty of other days in different ways every day. So at the end of the day, it's a lot of it comes down to that. They don't understand what branding is, and that a brand and marketing is what instills it for the next day. And in marketing, a lot of times that's what we talk about is what's there tomorrow when they hang the phone up. What's there tomorrow when they walk out the store? What's there tomorrow after they purchased on you? Are we going to automate this next process? Are we going to put our brand in front of them for more awareness? Or are we going to try to sell them more right now? And these are things that these people have never experienced, been trained on, and the only thing they see is what they see is half of these girls got a OnlyFans now. No, I'm sorry. Let me not go there. But, no, seriously, people trying to make it on their name, and that's it. There's nothing with it. And it's very, very short-lived that way, because as soon as they hang up and as soon as it's over, what's there for tomorrow? Well, if it's OnlyFans, I got an answer for that. What's there for tomorrow? But other than that, they're going to forget you in the shuffle, bro. The shuffle is big. And that's what a lot of people don't understand and do, is stop, take a minute, look at what you do, and at least make it consistent in what it is. Like, at least I'm the same artist for all my last 4 CD covers. You know what I mean? Like, little, small, basic things in marketing and business they don't understand. But there's a lot of people out there that handle that and do what I do for insurance agents and financial advisors for rappers. And they need to get with those people and do business. Because if you're not doing business, I don't know, you could look at an article or a review I did years ago with a company called Act Live. Look it up, y'all. I'm going to tell you the same thing. If you're not doing business and investing, don't expect a return. And expect to lose money up front. because that's the way it goes in America. But expect that if you do it right with a brand and a marketing plan and an idea, you might just win. But if you don't, you just try to be a rapper and hope that your cool name's going to take off. And it's not what it's about. Don't follow my blueprint. I'm just a rapper, bro. Again, I'm just going to tell you, and I might take it serious at any moment, and watch out, because if it gets right, and I want to, I can, and I will, because I understand it all. It's what I do. I'm a marketing guru online. But I do it for $1 million companies and get paid well for doing it.
That's what's up.
This rap, and literally I'm able to put it out because of that. And it's beautiful. You know what I mean? To me, at least. But reality is that's what they got to look at, and that's what it is. And I don't got the time to give up all the answers because I don't know them. But I can tell you, like any other business in the world, that's what it is: marketing, branding, sales. Sell them again, and keep selling more than you're losing. Keep growing, or you're going, and there you go. You made it in America.
True. I tell all hip hoppers and rappers, if you don't know what a C3 tax form is, you're not a successful rapper yet.
Right.
It's a hobby. It's a hobby. And
yo, I don't know what that is. It's a hobby for me right now. I want everybody to be clear. Be clear. I don't know what he just said that is. That's the truth. And I don't care if my bars is better than yours. Nah, I'm kidding.
Nah, talk that talk.
This is real talk. And this is real. This is a lot of game that's being given up right now. And listen close, because he's right. Because in where I come from, if you don't know what the E to I transition is, you ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You ain't getting
Fact.
a big man like me.
Fact. We'll talk about that form after this interview. I want to ask you 2 more questions, and then we're going to go into our rapid fire questions. All right, and we're going to have some fun with that. The last 2 questions I'm going to ask you, which comes off of exactly what you said, is this: what is the number 1 rule MCs should know when they go into the career of hip hop and not the art of hip hop?
Well, seeing that I'm not a career rapper, better have your money up. That's like any business. The art, I mean, if you want to be a hip-hop MC, I think the first thing you better do is go listen to all of GXFR, the whole Griselda camp, everything they put out, and all their affiliates, plus all the Rochester rappers, 38, Ito, Hassan, everybody. Learn how to rap, because if you want to do hip-hop, they the ones that's moving the lane right now. And the OGs and the vets will tell you when they co-signed it. So if you don't pay attention to that, then I don't know what to tell you. And those 2 things, get your money up, because my money's up, but I ain't trying to be a rapper yet. That's why my people mad all the time. But at the end of the day, you better, because it's business. Like I said a million times, like anything else, most businesses in America, just like anything else, lose for the first 3 years before they're profitable. That's the national average. And I build companies that are profitable in 6 months. But that's a side note. And that was my plug for the show. But anyway.
Right. That's fine. That's perfect.
No, that's the truth. That's the truth of the matter. So get your money up, invest, talk to people. Even though, I'm here right now because I invested in my career. You know what I mean? As a rapper, and I don't even rap, but I know that my album's dope and it deserves it. And that's where I'm at in my head. But if y'all ain't got that part, then, it's a hobby. And that's cool. It's a cool hobby. If less people did it, this would be a little easier. I'd probably go harder. But at the end of the day, that's the reality. And if you want to be a businessman, that's what you're going to have to do.
Facts. So then the last question for the regular part of this interview is this: knowing all that you know, what sets you apart from not the rapper? Let me put it this way: what sets you apart from the mogul who gives to the culture and the businessman that fertilizes the game?
I'm not trying to get paid. I'm already getting paid. That's the biggest difference. There's a lot of fronting going on, man.
That's true.
Oh, I did this, that, and the third and made $100,000. So what? I did $1 million in sales in 2018. Fucking so. So that's the difference. There's a lot of people out there that are in big positions that try to fake it till they make it and get rich off a lot of other people's grind, and that's cool, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, that's what's gonna make me different is I'm gonna look at the whole picture, where I'm at as a rapper, what I'm willing to sell soulfully to make something commercial, where I'm at with hip hop, where it belongs, and where I'm at with my everyday life and business, my family, my people, my B. Connies, my Georges, my folks around me, man. The ones that, when we done with this interview, going to turn the car on and we going to the next stop. So, to me, that's what the difference. That's what the difference is. And you know, anybody can do it. You just got to stop. And they got to break it down and look at it for what it is, man. It's just like when I was younger, breaking down a bag or whatever to go here, here, and there. It's going to add up to something and what's the next move. Because if you don't got that in mind, I don't really know. It's a hobby. It's not a business. And that's it, you know. That's it. That's what makes us different is I'm going to look at the whole scope and skate, not front about it, really look at it, what's around me, not everybody else, and where we going to go tomorrow, taking where everything's at around me. And that goes for the hip-hop market and industry and where that's going, the insurance industry and market and where that's going, where Google's going, and cryptocurrency. So I'm going to look at it all, because that's me, and I do it as a business person.
So with that being said, everybody, listen. You could be an MC that rhymes and do great in your territory, but you could also be a businessman that does great worldwide by knowing the business, knowing your craft, and then putting it into your life, just like your rhymes. So with that being said, please give everybody your social media, plug your business, and tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
Facts. Gillateen Gilly, put that in Google. You're going to get all kinds of stuff. YouTube. You can go to my Facebook. It's Michael Gillateen Guilfoyle. I have a fan page, Gillateen. Instagram, Gillateen101. Twitter, Gillateen101. My business, Simplify My Biz, is the website, Simplify Solutions, LLC. I have a partner. We go all the way in. We work with insurance companies around the country, transitioning to independent and trying to grow their businesses. So if there's any of you out there, give us a call too. And that's me, man. That's what I do. And I make hip hop. Canny, Cany. Get it? Play it from track 1 to track 12. The intro, man, we probably could have did better, I think. But 2 through 11, let go. No skips. We make hip hop around here. and that I can tell you clearly and confidently. Check it out.
And I will tell everybody.
You your money back times 2.
I will tell everybody the CANY project is very New York. So if you like that gritty voice with the sound that knock with the bass and the beat, please do yourself a favor and check it out. What's the producer's name again from Canada?
My boy Frank Grizzly, man. This is the first production project he ever put out, and he killed it, I think. You know, little coaching, a little bit of experience I got. I think we did a good job, man. And I'm proud of him. You know, I'm very proud of him and what he's got coming next. Yo, he got some shit. He's very inspired right now. I'm very, very run down. Old, man. I'm going to push 40 soon. So, you know.
Congratulations.
I'm here and I'm pushing. I'm doing what I'm doing. But he's inspired and a little younger. And you better watch out, because that boy been sent me some stuff that makes me want to just, come on now. We got to go buy this, do that. Give us equipment right, because we're gonna rap to this.
All right.
The boy is serious. He is no joke. We had a couple songs that got cut from the album, and I'm gonna tell you, it's sad that it happened. There was some stupidness, whatever. But we don't play them games, and they can have the beats. But I'm gonna tell you something. The boy is no joke, and he's got flavors, all different kinds of them, and you can tell from Candy. You can hear it. There's no question about it.
All right.
That's his first ever released music. He don't have a SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make that clear. Nobody.
So you got the exclusive. That's what's up.
That's crazy to me.
All right, so let's go into our rapid fire questions right now. Our rapid fire questions are not yes no questions. I don't ask you about what's hot on TV, who looks good, or who got a fat butt. I don't care about that. I really don't. I care about you as an artist and letting the people connect with you so they can invest in you and learn from you. You ready to go?
I like fat butts too, though. I don't mind the question. I'm playing. Go ahead.
Okay. First question. What song or album in hip-hop or any music genre perfectly describes your life that you did not make?
Ready to die. Because I'm ready. I ain't scared. Big.
Okay. Ready to Die is the album that perfectly personifies you.
They go Ready to Die for real, man. They don't even describe my life, but it's what made me hip-hop and where I'm at, and this is something I can play over and over again. So when anybody asks anything to do with what's what with hip-hop, that's when they're going to get Ready to Die.
Okay, sidebar question. When they re-released that album, were you disappointed with it, or did you like how they changed it?
Yeah, I ain't even listened to that. I never will.
Okay, no problem. I was pretty disappointed in it because when he took the samples out, two of my favorite songs didn't sound exactly the same, and I hated that. You know what I'm saying?
I've never heard. That's a Sydney fact, and I'm never gonna. That's an embarrassing thing they did to that.
That's all good. Salute to Biggie, R.I.P. The next question I have to ask you is, the remix is one of the staples in hip-hop that has died recently because we don't have songs that are re-released with different beats, but we do have songs that add people onto the track. What is the greatest remix in hip-hop history to you?
Remix. Whoa. I'm asking a friend in the back seat. Where are we going with this, George? The greatest remix. Who remade something doper than everybody?
And that Biggie Janir, though, I've been around.
That's a remix?
Yeah.
I've been around as a remix? That's a remix?
Yeah, that's that shit, too.
I'll put that up there for sure. Wait, what else we got? We got something else, man. We can't. This is a hard one time. You after some crazy shit.
Of course. This is hip-hop. That's what we do.
The Tony Story Part 2.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Meek Mill.
Yeah, that's crazy. The greatest, so we gotta give them the greatest, so they want the greatest.
It's Damn Shame Part 2, Gucci Rap.
Nah, that's the greatest ever. That's one of them. You can't do it. The greatest one ever, bro. That's one of the greatest. That is one of the greatest, but what's the... Hold on, man. We got to put you on mute, bro. We'll be right back. Man, we going with Cool G Rap. It's a damn shame right now. You know, you asked a super loaded question.
Wait. It's a damn shame. The remix?
Yeah.
Okay. You're the first person ever...
Wait, let me ask you. Wait. What's your favorite? Oh, Ron Gillateen. Ah, she said Ron Gillateen. Oh, no. That's a great remix. So is the Heist on Falling Culture. We redid Big L, the Heist, on Falling Culture, and we played it earlier after we played Ron to see if it checked in.
Yeah, what kind of remix you want?
You asked a very loaded question here.
Oh, that's just the beginning. We ain't get to the hard questions yet. You ready?
All right, come on.
Okay, so like I said, we did the remix. Now, in hip-hop today, people will always do a song with somebody, and I think it's overdone. Because most MCs should not rap together, or they don't sound good together. But back in the day, when you had a song, like going back to Ready to Die, when you heard Biggie and Method Man, it was like crazy. And it was a feature artist that added to the song. But sometimes there are feature artists that make the song better than the main artist. Who is the greatest guest 16 of feature artists in hip-hop history?
Eminem. Renegade.
What song? All right, now wait. You know Renegade is not, that's not Jay-Z's song. That was Eminem's song.
I know whose song it is. I know what the deal is. Royce the 5'9" song. I know what's up.
Shout out to you, because you're the first person on here who said that and knew that.
Oh, I know my hip-hop history, bro.
Shout out to you.
I'm going to tell you something. Eminem.
Eminem's the greatest guest 16?
I know it was already there. I know I get it. But how it was laid out to the populace and the popular, man, Eminem slayed that boy, if you ask me. But that ain't because I'm a white rapper and I love Jay-Z. I know he was inducted into the Writers Hall of Fame and all that, Songwriters Hall of Fame. But I'm going to tell you something. That boy, he shouldn't have bought that thing. I don't know what to say. Maybe you should have left them bars off it. So, that boy was savage on that. To me, that's one of them. For sure.
Okay. So, Eminem. Gotcha. Hey, that's great.
No, everybody don't like that. But.
Hey, that's their business. This is what you like. That's all that count right now. So here we go. We did the album. We did the feature. We did the guest 16. The next question I have to ask you, if you had your dream track, who would be on it? Dead or alive, and who produces the music?
Man, my boy, Recognize Ali, me, Biggie, produced by Primo with Gangstar cleaning up.
Okay.
Primo on the beat, the chops, me, Ali, Biggie, and a fourth just coming in to do what he do with Preem. That's it. That's the train track.
Okay. That's dope. That's dope. Next question. We said earlier in the interview that the Mecca in the beginning of hip-hop sound is New York. But New York does not define East Coast hip-hop. How do you define East Coast hip-hop, and what is it?
You asking a New Yorker. But no. How do I define it? Snare, drum, kick. If that ain't in the equation, other than no drums, which we allow in here and there, dabbles, no drums or snare, kick drum, and maybe a light snare somewhere in between, cymbal, kick, something to complete the pattern, or no drums. Man, you ain't hip hop, bro. All that erratic and the don't get me wrong. I'll pull the stick out the box and all that, just like Roddy Ricch. I'm playing, but all that and all them gimmicks, that's not what it is. It's about some drums and them samples, man. That's what it is. That's what created, defined it. That's where it came from.
Okay. I respect that. I respect that heavily. See, East Coast hip hop and the New York prejudice is that no one else can do it, where a standard has been set and it elevated. In elevation, you set a standard. So when you hear, depending on the era, Brooklyn, you hear Biggie, Jay-Z, Big Daddy Kane, or if you're underground, Sean Price, Boot Camp, etc., right? When you think of Queens, you think Nas, you think LL Cool J, Run DMC, Mobb Deep. When people say Rochester or Upstate New York, what is the song or the artist that personifies that perfectly, in your opinion?
Man, Upstate, man, gonna give it to Lil Ito, man. Cause Lil Ito, here's why. Cause Lil Ito, man, I swear, man, he's got more projects than anybody probably across most genres of hip hop, man. And if you hear an Ito sound and what he's doing, you know Lil E grinded that shit out on Lyle Avenue, and he did it for the last 9 years. You know what I mean? That general. Yeah, man.
Okay, we can stop right there. That's fine. That's fine. We can stop right there. I have 2 more questions, and then we can end the interview. All right?
All right.
This question is based upon not you, the artist, but you as the forward thinker. Where do you think the game, not the music, where do you think the hip-hop game or culture will be in the next 5 years, given Corona and the loss of money and the return to people listening to music?
Well, I think, if anything, it leveled the playing field a lot. And
True.
gives the advantage back to the bars, man, big time. And I'm not talking about where they go out to drink. It's about the lyrics and the real artistry and all that. Because at the end of the day, if we don't know what's going to happen, and that's the truth. As it gets back to that, boy, you better know how to rap to keep them entertained. Because all that pop it, lock it in the club, it's not going to mean too much in the living room when they're just tuning in to, sit back, kick back, smoke, and drink, and listen to an album. Where I see it at the end of the day is, I don't exactly know, but I'll tell you what, if the playing field gets a little more leveled, it's going to come further back to the bars and the lyrics.
Word. This is the final question in the interview, and before I ask it, I want to say it's been a pleasure meeting you and talking to you, and I hope to build with you later because you said something that was very interesting, and that's what heritage hip-hop is grounded off of. We do not believe hip-hop is beats and music. Hip-hop comes from God, so if you have a true spiritual connection, you know that everything that you do has a beat, has a step, has a rhythm, and a harmony, and we work together and make hip-hop great. So that's what makes hip-hop what it is. And the final question I have for you is this. You have a digital footprint because people can see you on the internet. You have a musical footprint because people can hear your music. But unfortunately, one day you're going to die. And when you go, the world is going to lose something special. But in 2,000 years, there's going to be a massive earthquake somewhere, right? Something crazy is going to happen. And they're going to find a time capsule, and your music is going to be in there. And then you're going to be reintroduced to a new generation, a new time, a new era of people who are going to learn what hip-hop or what that type of music that we did is. My final question to you is, what is the legacy that you leave behind that made the world better because you did hip-hop?
Man, knowledge, wisdom, CTRT, Gillateen, falling culture, candy, consumption, the wrench, King Gilly. Go check King Gilly on Candy. We talk exactly about this. This exact question is answered on what's going to happen because they always flip the sample upside down. It comes back around. And at the end of the day, the real shit's going to live on because it's like fine wine in time, bro. It gets better. And that's what it comes down to. And there you go. I gave it to you. The very last song in Candy. We talk about it in the last verse. Tune in, tap in. That's what it's about. It's what's going to happen in 20 whatever, 30 whatever. We'll see where it goes. And that's it, man. Like, that's why I have dignity and pride in everything and every line and bar that we put out, whether it's going to 1 million radio plays a day, 6ix9ine in the front line, yeah, I'm the man, or it's got 1,500 plays on the SoundCloud. I promise you, it's with dignity, wisdom, and gratitude, man. For what? what came before me and what's going to hear me after.
Word. So to everybody out there that's listening to this interview, when this interview is over, make sure you check out Gillateen and realize that his hip-hop not only comes from his heart, but it comes from his understanding of life and the game. If he's somebody that you are really intrigued with, please don't be corny. Take the dollar out that you would spend on a scratch-off or something irrelevant and go buy the single online. We don't believe in streaming culture on Heritage Hip Hop. We believe in purchasing culture. So if you find someone that you like, buy their project. Invest in them, because that way you show that love and you make sure their movement keeps going. So with that being said, any last words?
Man, salute. I respect every level of the game, what you're doing with your music. Just make it resonate, man. 'Cause at the end of the day, if you're not trying to touch the next person that's listening and keep it real with yourself, you don't stand for nothing. So, that's it.
And with that being said, we say peace, and we out.
We out.
Once again, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast with Gillateen. His new project, CANY, or Canny, as he said, with Frank Grizzly, is really good. And shout out to Frank Grizzly for doing some of the most incredible inspirational beats that I've heard in a long time. Good producers and good MCs get together and make good music. Hopefully great projects that you can get and experience and hold on to for generations to come. Heritage Hip Hop is brought to you by Transparent Credit Repair, the superheroes of the financial literacy and credit repair world. If you're looking to repair your credit, get out of debt, and not live off only stimulus checks, please contact them at www.transparentcreditrepair.com and also call them at 862-250-5122. Heritage Hip Hop is a partnership and between ourselves and you, the listener / supporter. We're making a great movement, and we thank you for everything that you've helped us do and contributed to our movement. To support us, you can follow us on all social media at Heritage Hip Hop. You could be members of our free website, www.heritagehiphop.com, and reap members benefits, free playlists. We have music, we have videos, and we have these great podcast interviews and our talk show, The Mic Council, where we're talking about America's climate and hip-hop's responsibility as news of police brutality and injustice is going on right now. You can stay tuned to it with a look at the climate of America as it takes shape from hip-hop's perspective. So you could join us at heritagehiphop.com to see what hip-hop says, hear what hip-hop says, and feel the energy of what the world is becoming and hip-hop's responsibility. We are also partnered with Fatty's Place, our virtual assistants. If you need virtual assistance in building your social media and your brand, hit them on Instagram at FADDYSPLACE. That's Fatty's Place on Instagram. We are also partnered with Wildfire Marketing, which is ran by a prolific MC named Fire Jaws. You can hit him on Instagram at FIREJAWS, where he teaches you marketing, promotion, and placement to make your brand and your art or product meaningful and marketable to the bigger brands and just the people in your sector or circle. We also are partnered with Diamonds Entertainment LLC to show you the other side of hip-hop, be it sports and clothing. You can hit them at DIEMENZ Entertainment LLC on Instagram. And we also are partnered with The Big A Show, which is on YouTube on AHDAYAR. That is IDR on YouTube. Season 2 is coming soon. I am the co-host, Karev, and Big A is the host. And it's a whole nother take on hip-hop and the entertainment industry. So to everybody out there that's listening to this, I thank you for you giving us your time and giving us the opportunity to entertain you. May the Most High bless you, and even in the COVID world, stay alive, because the world is better with you than without you. And with that, we say peace, and we're out. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast with Gillateen. His new project, CANY, or Canny, as he said, with Frank Grizzly, is really good. And shout out to Frank Grizzly for doing some of the most incredible inspirational beats that I've heard in a long time. Good producers and good MCs get together and make good music. Hopefully, great projects that you can get and experience and hold on to for generations to come. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast with Gillateen. His new project, CANY, or Canny, as he said, with Frank Grizzly, is really good. And shout out to Frank Grizzly for doing some of the most incredible inspirational beats that I've heard in a long time. Good producers and good MCs get together and make good music. Hopefully, great projects that you can get and experience and hold on to for generations to come. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast with Gillateen. His new project, CANY, or Canny, as he said, with Frank Grizzly, is really good. And shout out to Frank Grizzly for doing some of the most incredible inspirational beats that I've heard in a long time. Good producers and good MCs get together and make good music. Hopefully, great projects that you can get and experience and hold on to for generations to come. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast with Gillateen. His new project, CANY, or Canny, as he said, with Frank Grizzly, is really good. And shout out to Frank Grizzly for doing some of the most incredible inspirational beats that I've heard in a long time. Good producers and good MCs get together and make good music. Hopefully, great projects that you can get and experience and hold on to for generations to come. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast with Gillateen. His new project, CANY, or Canny, as he said, with Frank Grizzly, is really good. And shout out to Frank Grizzly for doing some of the most incredible inspirational beats that I've heard in a long time. Good producers and good MCs get together and make good music. Hopefully, great projects that you can get and experience and hold on to for generations to come. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast with Gillateen. His new project, CANY, or Canny, as he said, with Frank Grizzly, is really good. And shout out to Frank Grizzly for doing some of the most incredible inspirational beats that I've heard in a long time. Good producers and good MCs get together and make good music. Hopefully, great projects that you can get and experience and hold on to for generations to come. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast with Gillateen. His new project, CANY, or Canny, as he said, with Frank Grizzly, is really good. And shout out to Frank Grizzly for doing some of the most incredible inspirational beats that I've heard in a long time. Good producers and good MCs get together and make good music. Hopefully, great projects that you can get and experience and hold on to for generations to come. Heritage Hip Hop is brought to you by Transparent Credit Repair, the superheroes of the financial literacy and credit repair world. If you're looking to repair your credit, get out of debt, and not live off only stimulus checks, please contact them at www.transparentcreditrepair.com and also call them at 862-250-5122. Heritage Hip Hop is a partnership and between ourselves and you, the listener slash supporter. We're making a great movement, and we thank you for everything that you've helped us do and contributed to our movement. To support us, you can follow us on all social media at Heritage Hip Hop. You could be members of our free website, www.heritagehiphop.com, and reap members benefits, free playlists. We have music, we have videos, and we have these great podcast interviews and our talk show, The Mic Council, where we're talking about America's climate and hip-hop's responsibility as news of police brutality and injustice is going on right now. You can stay tuned to it with a look at the climate of America as it takes shape from hip-hop's perspective. So you could join us at heritagehiphop.com to see what hip-hop says, hear what hip-hop says, and feel the energy of what the world is becoming and hip-hop's responsibility. We are also partnered with Fatty's Place, our virtual assistants, If you need virtual assistance in building your social media and your brand, hit them on Instagram at FADDYSPLACE. That's Fatty's Place on Instagram. We also partner with Wildfire Marketing, which is ran by a prolific MC named Fire Jaws. You can hit him on Instagram at FIREJAWS, where he teaches you marketing, promotion, and placement to make your brand and your art or product meaningful and marketable to the bigger brand than just the people in your sector or circle. We also are partnered with Diamonds Entertainment LLC to show you the other side of hip hop, be it sports and clothing. You can hit them at DIEMENZ Entertainment LLC on Instagram. And we also are partnered with The Big A Show, which is on YouTube on AHDAYAR. That is IDR on YouTube. Season 2 is coming soon. I am the co-host, Karev, and Big A is the host. And it's a whole nother take on hip hop and the entertainment industry. So to everybody out there that's listening to this, I thank you for you giving us your time and giving us the opportunity to entertain you. May the Most High bless you, and even in the COVID world, stay alive, because the world is better with you than without you. And with that, we say peace, and we're out.